Hi, I'm Mackenzie Russell. I'm a junior, and here is my book report for my semester 1 book in AP Lang, Complications, A Surgeon's Notes on an Imperfect Science by Atul Gawande. Okay, so here's kind of part 1, and it's the book overview. Complications, A Surgeon's Notes on an Imperfect Science by Atul Gawande is a book that compiles his personal experiences as a surgeon in training and other stories to illustrate the uncertainty of modern medicine. Gawande demonstrates that medicine is not an exact science. Doctors make mistakes, patients respond unpredictably, and outcomes and reactions are never guaranteed. The book is set when Gawande was in training and beginning his career as a surgeon. So basically, this book is a bunch of stories all put together. Some of them are Gawande, some have been told to him from other co-workers and stuff like that, like people training him and stuff like that. But they all kind of like highlight the same message. It's like modern medicine, like it's a study that's continuing to grow, in that nothing is 100% like positive that they always find. It's like, yeah. Okay, here's part 2, and I did question 1, and it's what did I like about the book. I'm gonna say I'm saying I really liked this book because of Atul Gawande's honesty in storytelling. I appreciate how Gawande is very humble and how he can admit that he has done things wrong before and how he's not ever guaranteed success. I also like how he tells stories, including vivid details, and how his book is told through interactions with others. I personally feel sometimes this quality can be almost hard to follow, with me feeling lost in the understanding of his writing. So I really enjoy how there's chapters, and it's like sections of like it's a chapter, but I don't really enjoy how it's just stories through stories and there's not much context in between. I feel like it's like a lot of just like flowing throughout the book, which it could be good, but I just found myself kind of getting bored while reading it. So other than that, I feel like his approach was really interesting, and that it would probably work better for someone else that could like understand that more. But I don't know, that's just me. Okay, now I'm on part 3, and this is question 3. I skipped over question 2. And it's, what is a strong move made by Gawande? One strong move Gawande made when writing his book is choosing to be vulnerable and honest about doctors' experience, and including his own. Instead of portraying surgeons and doctors as flawless experts, he admits to mistakes and uncertainty, showing limits in medical knowledge. I feel like this quality and honesty builds trust with the readers, making the book relatable and helping highlight the book's main theme, that medicine is an imperfect science and that there is always room for improvements. And one example that you can see his honesty is kind of at the beginning of the book, where he's talking about doing a central line on a patient, and he injures an obese patient 2 times before having his procedure taken over by his supervisor. This was one of his first practices, but he does say later in the book, like, he's like, now that he's like further into his career, he's done so many more central lines, but there's always a chance that he could always mess them up, because there's always a chance that all doctors can mess something up. So I really enjoy how he's so vulnerable and honest, because I feel like it really helps the readers. Like, it definitely helped me like kind of step out of my judgment in my head and kind of realize like it helped me realize that doctors like aren't like superheroes. Like, they are superheroes, but they're not like people that'll do everything 100% right, like every single time. Like they will make mistakes because they are people. Okay, and then lastly, question 4. So part 4, question 4. What did this book teach me? I said, this book teaches the reader that medicine isn't perfect, highlighting that doctors and humans... Wait. Okay. This book teaches the reader that medicine isn't perfect, highlighting the fact that doctors are humans and they're allowed to make mistakes too. Gawande shows us that in order to become advanced in your field, you will have to make mistakes and that you cannot be afraid of being a risk taker. He also shows us that uncertainty is a part of science, that not every illness has a cure, and that doctors have to make decisions on a whim due to lack of resources or limited knowledge. This book made me realize that I often view doctors as major authority figures that are always on top of everything, often forgetting that they are people and that everybody makes mistakes. The book cleared up my past judgment, teaching me lessons about learning, and it's okay, and being okay with making mistakes. Yeah, this book also taught me, like, I feel like the lessons that it taught me are also really applicable to my everyday life, like, kind of remembering that nobody's 100% perfect and that it's always okay to make mistakes and ask questions, even when you're really experienced in something and you kind of want to, like, almost be on top of your field, but it's okay to be vulnerable and have that kind of humility to be able to say, like, I have a question, stuff like that. So yeah, that's what the book taught me. I'm going to do a little book rating. I think overall I'll give this book a 7 out of 10. It wouldn't be my first grab off the shelf if I was in the library or anything like that, but I really enjoyed kind of stepping out of my comfort zone. Like he was talking about in the book, stepping out of my comfort zone and trying a new book style, like reading new stuff. So yeah, definitely. So there is my concluded book review. Thanks for watching.